Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Ulaanbaatar. In 4 top stories, Pope Francis to pay a historic visit to Mongolia. Blue Sky Messengers, a European and Mongolian youth jazz orchestra, is performing in Ulaanbaatar city. Reforestation efforts in Mongolia's Yalbag River Valley. And for the news, stay tuned. In a momentous diplomatic event, His Holy See, Pope Francis, is set to undertake a significant state visit to Mongolia from August 31st to September 4th at the invitation of the President of Mongolia, Khursokhna.
This unprecedented visit holds great symbolic importance as it marks the convergence of spiritual leadership and diplomatic ties between the Holy See and Mongolia. The official welcome ceremony will take place at Ulaanbaatar Square, a significant location in Ulaanbaatar, on September 1st. Pope Francis will hold a crucial meeting with the President of Mongolia at the Government Palace on September 2nd. A gathering with representatives from various sectors of society, the government, and diplomatic missions is also scheduled at the Mongol Hall of the Government Palace. The Speaker of Parliament and the Prime Minister will pay a courtesy call to the Pope. The Pope will also host an intimate meeting with bishops, priests, and ordained religious figures at the Church of St. Peter and Paul, emphasizing the spiritual dimension of the visit. His Holy See, Pope Francis, will conclude his official schedule by presiding over a worship service at the Steppe Arena on September 3rd.
The European and Mongolian Youth Jazz Orchestra, named the Blue Sky Messengers, held a special performance in Ulaanbaatar city. This orchestra, established in partnership with the European Union National Institute for Culture and various European and Mongolian collaborators, presented a free public concert near the Beatles statue on August 29th.
It is composed of students, recent graduates and teachers from the music conservatories of Aalborg, Paris, Munich, Klagenfurt and Ulaanbaatar. The orchestra will perform in Mongolia from the end of August to the beginning of September 2023.
Today is our public concert, an open-air concert of the Blue Sky Messenger Big Band. The big band consisting of musicians from 4 different European countries and Mongolian countries, funded by the EU. We've been rehearsing arrangements that are especially written for this event. We've been rehearsing in Ulaanbaatar at Yeru Lodge, which was beautiful, and now we start our series of concerts in the capital, and this is our present to the public, and it's free for everybody. And we do Philharmonic Hall tomorrow, and then the Fat Cat Jazz Club Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Prior to traveling to Mongolia, participating students and teachers will collaborate online to create a unique repertoire representing each participating country and Mongolia as the host country. Each country will be artistically represented by at least one composition or arrangement from its culture.
We are the Blue Sky Messengers. We're an initiative that stems from different countries in Europe. So the members of the band are representing conservatories in Denmark. We're also coming from Austria. Some are coming from Germany. As you might know, there's a very big connection between the Munich Conservatory and the Ulaanbaatar Conservatory, thanks to Herr Martin Senker, who's right over there. And we're playing tomorrow at the National Opera. And the next 3 nights after that, we'll be doing a residency at the Fat Cat Jazz Club. Those who like jazz and who like those who like very, very large groups in very small spaces. If you like that, come. You won't be disappointed.
I have been collaborating with Jazz Lab and Goethe Institute on such jazz festivals for the 3rd consecutive year. This year we are performing under the band name Blue Sky Messenger. Jazz big bands consist from 20 to 21 musicians, and we spend 10 days rehearsing in Yuru of Siling province. Then after we perform for a whole 1 week in Ulaanbaatar city. This year we have professional jazz instructors and musicians from Latvia, Germany, Netherlands, France and from Mongolia as well.
It's my first time in Mongolia, And so far, I'm really enjoying. We were in the province, and we stayed at the lodge, and we stayed in yurtas, the gears. I really enjoyed the experience. It's been very, very nice so far. Yesterday, we were at a show about Mongolian tradition, and it was about the music, the dances. I really, really loved that, and I really got interested in Mongolian culture in general. And regarding this project, I really enjoy the cast that I'm playing with. I really enjoy food here. It's amazing. And the overall experience is really, really great.
The project is funded by European Union National Institute for Culture, the Franco-German Cultural Fund, as well as the implementing members of EU NIC Mongolia, the Alliance Française Ulaanbaatar, the Austrian Embassy in Beijing, the Danish Cultural Institute in Beijing, and the Goethe Institute of Mongolia with the support of the European Union delegation to Mongolia.
It's not the first time, but it's the first bigger music project we're doing together. Unique Mongolia came together from a project we did 2021. It's called Ulaanbaatar, and this was the birth of the cluster, which since then did several projects together. Another project Unique Mongolia is doing is a film series. We feature female filmmakers from Europe, and it's going to be shown, or movies from the different countries are going to be shown every second Saturday from September till December in the Tengus cinema.
Blue Sky Messengers partners include the Centre de Musique Didier Lockwood in Paris, France, the Gustav Mahler Private University of Music in Klagenfurt, Austria, the Mongolian State Conservatory in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, the University of Music and Performing Arts in Munich, Germany, and the Royal Academy of Music in Aalborg, Denmark.
Now let's take a look to Mongolia's current affairs.
In the Yalbag River Valley of Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, an experimental reforestation project is utilizing drone technology equipped with machine learning capabilities. The aim is to restore the valley's ecosystem, which has been adversely impacted by activities like artisanal and illegal gold mining. Ayotollah LLC, a key player in Mongolia's mining sector, committed to planting 100 million trees by 2030 as part of the 1 billion trees national campaign initiated by President Khurelsukhna. A portion of this pledge involves reforesting the 334.7 hectare Yalbag River Valley. Partnering with the Rio Tinto Group and Airseed Technologies, an Australian company, Ayotollah is employing advanced drone technology. These drones, known as octocopters, are equipped with artificial intelligence and specialized seed pods. This combination enables precise aerial planting of trees, helping to accelerate reforestation process. Airseed Technologies innovation highlights the potential for technology to aid in environmental restoration. As the drones soar and the seeds take root, the Yalbag River Valley takes a step towards ecological rejuvenation, showcasing the synergy between technological advancement and ecological preservation.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Here's the international news from our partner agencies. Britain's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly has begun a long-awaited visit to China as the two countries attempt to stabilize bilateral ties that have frayed badly in recent years. The trip is the first by a British top diplomat to China in more than 5 years, underscoring the downturn in relations of Beijing's curbing of civil liberties in Hong Kong, a former British colony, China's support for Russia, and Britain's close security ties with the United States.
And you have always, in my experience, listened carefully and professionally when I have spoken about the areas where we don't have agreements. But I've also been able to speak about the opportunities that I foresee, opportunities for Chinese people, for British people, but also the opportunities that could benefit the wider world if we can ensure that our bilateral relationship is positive.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said on Wednesday China remained committed to developing a stable and mutually beneficial relationship with the UK during talks with the visiting Foreign Secretary James Cleverly in Beijing. The trip was the first by a British Foreign Secretary to China in more than 5 years, underscoring the downturn in relations over Beijing's curbing of civil liberties in Hong Kong, abuses against Muslim minorities in the Xinjiang region, China's support for Russia, and Britain's close security ties with the United States.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and 3 cabinet ministers had Fukushima fish sashimi at a lunch meeting on Wednesday in an apparent effort to dispel safety concerns following the controversial release of treated radioactive wastewater from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant.
Kishida and the 3 ministers had sashimi of flounder, octopus, and sea bass caught off Fukushima coast. Economy and Industry Minister Yasutoshi Nishimura, who was at the lunch meeting, told reporters later. The projected decades-long release of treated water has been strongly opposed by fishing groups and criticized by neighboring countries. China immediately banned the imports of seafood from Japan in response. In Seoul, thousands of South Koreans rallied over the weekend to condemn the release, demanding Japan to keep it in tanks. Japan's government and the plant operators say treated radioactive wastewater that has accumulated since the March 2011 accident at the nuclear plant, now totaling 134 million tons and stored in about 1,000 tanks, is taking up much of the plant area and must be removed to free up space to build facilities for the plant's cleanup and decommissioning, which are also expected to take decades. Kishida also pledged on Monday to do his utmost to protect Japan's fisheries industry from the impact of China's import ban and said he will announce support measures later this week.
Here's the weather forecast of all major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.